What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all having a great day, and if you're new to the channel and want to hit the subscribe button too, that would help me out immensely. Today's objective, we are finally going to be mounting a pair of tires to a pair of the VS KFs. Incredibly stoked. I did order new hardware nuts and valve stems from 3-piece wheels like almost 2 weeks ago. They said it shipped out like 10 days ago and no update to my package, so I went ahead and retained some of the old hardware, just like the mounting nuts. I cleaned them with WD-40 and hit them with a wire brush just to get it clean, and also am retaining the original valve stems, which I inspected. The rubber sealant is still pretty good, but for extra precaution I did put a little bead of silicone on both the valve stem rubbers, praying to God, to the car gods, to the wheel gods, that none of these VSKFs will leak. I double checked the torque specs on all the hardware, all at 20 to 22 pounds. I checked the silicone, made sure that there was plenty of bead between the lip and barrel. I hit it up twice, let it cure for pretty much a little over a week. So again, crossing my fingers, none of these leak. So the tire I will be running on the VSKFs, which are 18 by 10 plus 20 because of the O-disc face. Thank you to the YouTuber or the guy in the comment section that let me know the full specs, or really more of the offset about that. Really helped me out a lot. I will be running the Yokohama Advent Flevas 225/35. I mean, honestly, a 225/35 on a 10, I did a lot of research. There's going to be quite a bit of stretch, which I was honestly trying to avoid. I was looking at 235/35s, but they don't really make that, they don't make that size in the Advent Flevas. And I was looking just to go 225/40 on the Advent Flevas, but they don't make the Flevas, or they're like a 9-week ETA out of stock. So I'm just going to go ahead and I would just say test my luck with these, cross my fingers that these stretch well. I've never ran the Advent Flevas, but I have ran Yokohamas, and great tire. The sidewall is really nice, so I have a lot of confidence that the stretch will be good and that it will hold air. So we're going to go visit my buddy Melvin, who is the only person in my town that I trust mounting tires to my hot boy wheels. So Melvin, if you're watching this, thank you so much, man. You've been an incredible help. He's the one that mounted the tires on the Kiwamis and the T7Rs, and they've been great ever since. And a lot of people have been asking me if I'm going to sell the Work Emotions. Everything is for sale at the right price, but someone asked me how much, and perfect conditioned wheels with tires with pretty much almost 100% of tread, I'm asking $2,000. So let me know in the comments below, or DM me on Instagram if you're interested. And the lips and barrels for the front set should hopefully arrive next week. I doubt that they will be here and built in time for the show, because we are about 7 days away from Oktoberfest. A quick update on the Skyline before we left. So as you know, in terms of maintenance, we did the reseal on the rocker covers, and I also added a brand new Tomei high flow fuel pump, 255 high flow. I've been letting the car start and idle for 10 minutes about 3 times a week, and the first time yesterday I drove the car for a good 30 minutes because I have to burn gas since it's going to be an indoor car show. Skyline ran amazing. None of the rocker cover gaskets are leaking. The half moon seals in the back are holding up well, and the Skyline seems to be running a tad bit, I would say, smoother. So incredibly stoked. I am very confident now in taking the Skyline to the show. Just got to clean up the engine bay a little bit, and I'm going to do a once over this upcoming week before the show to make sure the Skyline looks its absolute best. All right, everything loaded up. Tires in the back secured. We got the VSKFs secured in a thick winter blanket. See you at Melvin's. What's up, Thick Mac? Goodness, haven't seen this in a minute. Chrome tint. killer fitment, authentic Rocket Bunny kit. Sorry to film, but here we go. 225/35 on a 10. Yokohama Advan Flevas. These stretch perfectly. Everything is sealed. All I have to do is buy valve stem extenders so I can read how much pressure is in the tire, but everything's sealed up. Didn't have to use a cheetah. Again, thank you so much, Melvin, for your time. We made it back home safely. Again, thank you so much, Melvin, for mounting the tires to the VS KFs. All we have to do now is check up the car, take off the T7Rs, and go ahead and mount the VS KFs. I am incredibly stoked. They're holding air, I'm bouncing them around. So what Melvin told me to do was drive on these right now as far as I want to, and then take it back to him in a couple of days so we can balance them. I also ordered extended valve stems because we can't get the reader or the fuel nozzle on without hitting the lips, since these are almost like low profile valve stems. So those will be in tomorrow, and then I can actually check how much PSI is in here. But it's safe enough to drive on. So without further ado, let's go ahead and install the Work VS KFs. All right, wheel is on. Looks great per vision. Yes. Of course, it'll look significantly better once I put the skirt on. But for tonight, I'm just gonna roll how the Skyline looks right now. But KF looks amazing. Tire's doing good. What's awesome to me is I have so much like arc gap right here, so I can take out probably 1.5 degrees to 2 degrees of camber and have the wheel sit at around 2, maybe 2.5 degrees of rear camber. As you can see there, again, it protrudes in so less because of the O-disc, and the T7Rs are of course high disc. But yes, this side looks so good. Moving on to the other side. Looks just as good. And again, plenty of clearance on the arch. Actually, I think there's a little bit more clearance on the arch. I've always had a weird side, even though my subframe and everything's all balanced. But, so I can go ahead and do the 9th or 10th alignment on the Skyline to get that fitment exactly where I want it with these. So incredibly stoked. Cannot wait to debut these at the show next week. All right, just made it back home Saturday night. Chilled with the boys, went on a long cruise, chilled at a gas station, took the long scenic route back home. 2 things. Number 1, the Skyline is running phenomenally with the upgraded Tomei fuel pump. Fuel pressure is consistent and power on the top end doesn't like break out like it used to with the OEM pump. And number 2, the tire on the VS KFs are holding pressure, nothing debeating, no leaking. Like I mentioned, took the long scenic route home. I was ripping it, taking corners, and it honestly feels great. Like I mentioned in the middle-ish of the video, the wheel is not balanced, so it was kind of squirrely at higher kilometers, but for the most part, tire pressure is good and it feels significantly great. A little bit of a verdict. I don't know if I want to honestly run the VS KFs right now, just because the fitment is whack. Don't get me wrong, the gloss white face with the brushed lip looks great with the paint, but I don't want to go to the Skyline's first show with whack bunk fitment. I mean, dude, I can fit my fingers in here, and I was thinking about redoing the camber arm to get positive camber so I can get the tire to almost touch the rear arch here without bottoming out. But then I have to get an alignment and schedule that, and I know Eden Customs is incredibly booked right now. But on a side note, I put the BN Sports side skirt on, and it looks even better. So yeah, that's kind of my verdict right now. Don't know if I want to run the VS KFs. Honestly, with the T7Rs, fitment is significantly better, and if my other front set of lips and barrels and hardware isn't here yet, I'd rather not run 3-piece wheel and then the Flowform wheel. Other than that, guys, that is all I have for you in this video. I apologize for it being so short, just me talking and mounting the VS KFs to the Skyline. Again, a huge shout out to Melvin for always taking care of me. Also, in about a week, we have Oktoberfest, the Skyline's first show at the Tucson Expo Center. We got people coming up from Phoenix, California, New Mexico, Texas, and I think Washington. I'm not 100% too sure, but I know there's a lot of people attending and all these spots are filled up. So I believe there's gonna be like 250 plus cars indoors, and then whatever they have outdoors. It's going to be a great time. Like I mentioned, I'll probably just show the Skyline with the Flowform emotions. Before I go, of course, I'm gonna do a nice once over on the Skyline, making sure everything is as clean as it possibly can be. At the show, I will be bringing what I have left of my flight tags and my die cuts in like a million different colors. So if you see me, be sure to ask me for some merch. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Or I might set up like a small booth in front of the Skyline and man that during the show. But it's gonna be a great time, guys. I highly recommend you go. I would love to meet all of you who are wanting to link up via social media, and it means the world to me that you guys are showing me so much support this year and through my YouTube journey. Even though I'm not a big channel, I appreciate the little things you guys do for me. But again, that's all I got for you guys. It's time to go to work. Thank you for everything you do. And if you're new to the channel and want to hit the subscribe button, that'd be awesome. And remember, aim high, drive low. We'll catch you next video. Take care.